Americans, you're tired. You can't pay rent and you can't get groceries. You're on SSRIs and you live the most mundane lives possible. But remember, there's always the blissful joy in dying for the state of Israel. That is why I'm asking you to be supporting the covert actions of Mossad across the world. You must give us the funds to create endless wars and sectarian violence across the Middle East and topple regimes and depose leaders throughout the entire world.
Iran, Iraq, Lebanon, Syria, Somalia, Sudan, and Libya. The U.S. using Israel? No. This is Israel using the U.S.
We hope you don't mind that we use your tax-paying dollars to bomb an enclosed area for almost 2 years, especially targeting hospitals, civilians, and journalists. Those pesky journalists always get in the way when they're trying to expose a genocide.
Israel killed them one by one. 208 journalists.
It's especially important to bomb an area which is over 50% comprised of the youth. You know, kids tend to be terrorists most of the time.
The Gaza Strip has about 2.3 million Palestinians, and about half of that are minors and children.
You also must support the destabilization of the Middle East and North Africa to fund NGOs across Europe to bring in migrants from war-torn areas as well as the prison systems, and to bring them into major cities in Europe. Europe, we need you on our side. You have 2 jobs. Give us your tax money, and supply us with your youth to die in Iran for Lord Bibi.
He's been trying to get us to go to war with Iran since 9/11, and they're reporting that he plans to attack them and drag the United States into it.
Your young people must die for Lord Bibi. They don't contribute anything vital to the world anyways. They're broke, they can't find life-fulfilling jobs, they doom scroll on TikTok and Insta for thirst traps and dopamine kicks. People must die for our cause, just like those Syrian Christians being persecuted after we helped overthrow Assad and bomb Damascus at the same time, invade Lebanon and Syria, so that we could take over the Golan Heights indefinitely. And also to implement an Islamist regime for al-Sharaa. Remember, I'm not going to war. I can't get my suit stained. The one that's going to war is you. We also ask you not to remember Israeli offshore accounts funding arms to Iran during the Iran-Iraq war, as well as the fact that our government helped fund and start up Hamas to counter the PLO and Yasser Arafat. The fact that we helped fund 2 of our biggest enemies can never be mentioned in public.
Hamas was encouraged and really started by Israel because they wanted Hamas to counteract Yasser Arafat. Then Hamas becomes dominant, so we have to kill him. You know, it just doesn't make sense.
Never ask why those guys were laughing and dancing on that rooftop in New Jersey in 9/11 when those towers were hit.
She noticed 3 men on top of a van, posing for pictures with the towers burning in the background.
And I could see that they were like happy. You know, they didn't look shocked to me.
The witness called police, who stopped the van hours later and arrested 5 men. All 5, it turns out, were Israeli.
Never ask why Bibi went to Congress to push for a war in Iraq to depose Saddam and create a vessel for Islamists in the Middle East.
If you take out Saddam's regime, I guarantee you that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region.
Don't mention the 1983 Beirut barracks bombing that killed 241 Americans.
An Israeli request to stop the distribution of a book that contains some pretty damning information about the Israeli Secret Service, the Mossad.
Israeli intelligence was willing to let the terrorists succeed to protect their sources and out of contempt for U.S. intelligence. It says agents withheld information on U.S. hostages for similar reasons.
Our government is your greatest ally, and if you disagree with us, Mossad will destroy your life. If you are a self-aware person, if you seek philosophical and psychological alignment with nature and the universe, and to begin to see what is most obvious in front of you, you must remember that it is your imagination playing tricks on you. The truth is a mere illusion, and you must blow out the torch of enlightenment, crawl back into your cave from which you sought to escape, and pay monthly subscriptions to the Daily Wire. You must wire transfer your funds daily to Mossad. For those of you who think contrary to what we do, you must remember that our government will work around the clock every single minute and moment of your waking and sleeping life to degrade, sabotage, and create the most absurd accusations against you to destroy your reputation and shut you down. Things you couldn't imagine. To convince the masses that anyone who dares say a word about this is the most criminal and most reprehensible person alive. And there is simply nothing you could do about it. Nobody will believe you when you try to defend yourself against accusations. If you stand against any of the stuff that we do, just remember how much you love life. Don't you love life? Life must be very precious to you. You may criticize the CIA. You may criticize the FBI. You may criticize MI6. You may criticize any entity from DC to the Vatican. But the moment you mention Mossad, you will be blacklisted and your reputation will be smeared in the most revolting manner possible. The only thing that matters is that your youth die for our corrupt and negligent behavior, so that we may seek the destruction of the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, and rebuild the third temple, the third house of the sanctum. Please keep in mind that this is biblical prophecy. And with your help, as well as the help of the born-again evangelical Christian community, we may seek an eschatological end to the world via nuclear fallout. Please leave your critical faculties at the door. And remember, in the age of deceit, telling the truth is a most forbidden act.
Hello everyone, it is I, Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire. If you loved my last two flicks entitled What is a Woman and Am I Racist, you're gonna love my next flick entitled What is a Genocide? It's only available here at the Daily Wire, so make sure you subscribe. You know what? Fuck this shit. I need to speak my mind. I need freedom of speech right now, and I don't have it at the Daily Wire. Somebody save me. I need to get out of this company. Please. But, Ben, I'm sorry.
Us Mossad work in mysterious ways.
Yeah, looking forward to a lot of that. Get ready. You're going to get a lot of that.